is Kalyn Rose Heffernan. I am a lifelong Denver resident. Actually, that's not true. I spent a couple years in LA. I am an educator, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I'm an activist, and a freedom fighter for the little ones. I jumped into this race as an artist to reimagine what it means to campaign, what it means to run or roll for political office. With all of our campaign funds that we've raised, we've used them in the community to feed our unhoused neighbors and friends. We've created art, repurposing predatory real estate signs into Kalyn for Mayor signs, and we've built ramps in the city, making it accessible one step at a time. This whole process for me as a common person that rides the bus every day and that is in our public schools every day has been engaging experience for myself to re-educate other people what it means to roll for office and being as transparent and honest as I can about the barriers that I face every day in the city, as well as the barriers and inaccessibility to running for politics.
Thank you. Next up is Mayor Hancock.
Thank you, Denise, and I also want to thank ACLU for hosting this forum, and let me thank Pastor David Barr of this venerable faith institution as well for hosting us. I'm going to spend my time thanking ACLU or spending time talking about the work that I've had a chance to do with them. In 1998, when I was just 28 years old, I had the honor of being appointed the CEO of the Urban League, and it was at the Urban League, delivering direct services to 20,000 people in the city of Denver. I got a chance to work with ACLU on housing discrimination, employment discrimination, and interestingly enough, discrimination in hotel services. When I came to the city, my first opportunity to work with ACLU was on city council, where we addressed the issues of voting rights and access to the ballot box in 2008 as I was part of a flying squad for Barack Obama. But we've also had a chance to work with ACL since I've been mayor. And I'll tell you that they have worked with us in protecting our immigrants and refugees, police accountability, and services rendered to the homeless. ACLU is a valued partner, an integral part of our community. I got to celebrate them as well recently when I got a chance to watch the 60 Minutes special, where they highlighted and celebrated ACLU standing in the gap for all people in this nation under the leadership, or during the term, I should say, of President Trump. So I just want to spend my opening time talking about ACLU, thanking you for your service. We'll get a chance to talk about all the issues going forward. Thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. The third individual up is Jamie.
Good evening. My name is Jamie Giellis. I'm a candidate for Denver Mayor, and I want to thank the ACLU for hosting this very important conversation. I have spent 16 years working on urban planning, urban growth policy, urban issues, have had the extraordinary opportunity to work in neighborhoods across Denver and work in neighborhoods and cities across the U.S. and around the world. And I started out my career really wanting to be a city manager, really focused on how cities grow thoughtfully and sustainably. And started my own company in 2009 after working for an urban planning firm and recognizing that it was a very top-down approach to how cities were growing and developing, how they were revitalizing. We had left out community and people and culture and the character of our cities. And that's what I focused my career on. Having this opportunity to really think about how people's lives are impacted by the decisions that government makes and how we can build better bridges between community and city government. I'm focused in this race on a livable city, on quality of life, and on really ensuring that we are inclusive, accountable, and transparent to the citizens of Denver. And I look forward tonight to talking about my thoughts on the growth of this city and on the people of this city as we go forward. Thank you.
Next up is Lisa.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be with you. ACLU has been my home for many years. We've organized a long time together. In fact, the last time I was at a mayoral forum, I was moderating it 4 years ago. So I'm glad to be with you on this side of the table. I look forward to talking with you about the projects that I've worked on the ACLU, but from a standpoint of also a mother and a community member. I challenged this administration when my son had been repeatedly racially profiled and went to this former councilman, Hancock, and asked for help under broken windows policing when it was unleashed on our communities. And unfortunately, we did not get the help that we needed. And instead, we organized as a community and we knocked on doors and to say, you know what, this is wrong, and we're going to take on this city, and we're going to take on aggressive policing, and we're going to preserve our rights for our community. And ACLU is right there in working on improving the laws. I testified on bills with them to strengthen racial profiling laws against that. So I'm glad to be with you to talk with you more about that, about how we need to also protect our communities from government overreach, and how we need to have an equitable, fair, and just city. So thank you so much.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's okay. Let's try it one more time. Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, I want to thank the ACLU for not only being at the forefront of the struggle for poor, working poor, and homeless people to be acknowledged as human beings, but also to protect their right to be treated accordingly like everybody else with some equity without being criminalized, for being poor, for being disenfranchised. Today I spent being detained by the police at Rurry campus because they would not allow myself nor Kalyn to participate in the debate. So that tradition is not something that we talk about in the past, but we have to live it every day to protect our rights, to guarantee the right of all to participate in this process.
Sure is.
So I want to thank Kalyn for being who she is and standing strong. And for the first time ever in the history of America, in this country, in this state, you have poor people who are demanding to be at the seat of the table to represent their self. And so I look forward to engaging in this conversation, and thank you very much for allowing us to participate and guaranteeing our rights to fully participate in the electoral process.
Opening statements with Mr. Tate.
Thank you, Denise, and thank you to the ACLU for sponsoring this forum tonight. Thank you all for being here. My name is Penfield Tate, and I know many of you in this room because I used to be your state representative for House District 8 and your state senator for Senate District 33. I'm now asking for your support to become the next mayor of the city and county of Denver to lead Denver's future. Why? As I've walked around this city and visited with people in different neighborhoods, I hear people crying out for change. They want new leadership. They want leadership that is accessible, that is ethical, and that is transparent. They want leadership that is responsive to them. They want proven experience. They want proven leadership. They want leadership that I would submit that we have worked on together. In my time as an attorney in private practice with my father, we've worked together with the ACLU to protect civil rights and human rights. In my time as a legislator, I carried the hate crimes legislation with Dorothy Rupert 6 years in a row in an effort to protect members of the LGBTQ community because of how they were being treated. In my time as a legislator, I fought for and passed legislation for affordable housing because it's fundamental to what people need in this community. I'm running for mayor because people need to have someone who hears their voice, respects it, and responds to it. I'm asking for your support tonight, and I look forward to our conversation. Thank you.